Let's head into this afternoon newscast with the latest coming in from Nepal. As the Nepal Communist Party Standing Committee is scheduled to meet today, the ruling party is expected to discuss power sharing issues as well as differences between Prime Minister Sharma Oli and the faction led by senior leaders Pushp Kamal Dahal, also known as Prachand, and Madhav Kumar Nepal. Now, reports say that the meet was shifted by 2 hours as Oli and Prachand required some time for an informal discussion. The meet, which has been delayed over 7 times, comes after conflicting reports of a China-brokered truce between Oli and Prachand. This after Dahal ruled out an early general convention of the NCP, saying that it is not possible to hold it before November-December until several issues have been sorted out. Earlier reports indicated that Oli and Prachand agreed to hold the convention by the year-end, where Oli would back Prachand for the post of party chair in exchange of the former Prime Minister dropping his demand for Oli's resignation. And for more details, let's quickly go across to our correspondent Siddhant Sibal, who's joining us live from New Delhi. Siddhant, after getting deferred multiple times, should we now expect the meet to go forward? And should today's meet indicate that Prime Minister Oli is willing to consider the condition of one man, one post? All right, we seem to be encountering some technical glitch. And in the meanwhile, as we try to reconnect with Siddhant, this is the big news input that we're getting from Nepal. The Nepal Communist Party Standing Committee is scheduled to meet today. Remember, this meeting today is extremely crucial since it's been deferred 7 times already and is now scheduled to happen anytime soon. It was earlier scheduled to take place at 11 o'clock but was postponed by a couple of hours since Prachand and Oli wanted to sort out their differences. Let's quickly go back to Siddhant, who's joining us live on this broadcast. Siddhant, what should we expect to emerge out of the meeting today? And as I was asking you earlier, should this meeting indicate that Prime Minister Oli is willing to consider the condition of one man, one post?
Well, Akanksha, this is a crucial meeting, the Standing Committee meeting. It has been postponed multiple times, we know now. And of course, the focus is that this meeting happens as soon as possible. In fact, it has been postponed today for 2 hours. It was expected to happen at 11 a.m. It has been now postponed to 1 p.m. But by and large, if you look at what is happening on the ground, we know that over the weekend there was a deal, there was an agreement between the two fractions, the Oli fraction and of course the Prachanda fraction. And we know that an agreement was agreed on under which Prachanda will get a major role, a better role which Prachanda was seeking. But we now know that when it comes to the Prachanda fraction, there are more divisions with former Prime Ministers like Madhav Kumar Nepal and J.N. Khanal. They are asking that why this sudden U-turn has been done by Prachanda fraction, given the fact that few days ago Prachanda was talking about that the Prime Minister should resign. But by and large, it looks like a Game of Thrones in Nepali politics, and it is a very fragile truce which is underway in Nepal. It can change very soon. The dynamics can change very soon, and that of course remains the worry, the prolonged instability in the country.
Yeah, a fragile truce is a very good way of putting it across. Now, Siddhant, has Prime Minister Oli leveraged Beijing's interest in a united Communist Party in Nepal to his advantage?
Well, talking about the role China is playing, it is well known the role China is playing in Nepal. If we talk about what Chinese envoy has been doing, she has been meeting the various stakeholders in the ruling Nepal Communist Party. But it has been on the papers, but slowly the Chinese have understood that is going to backfire very soon, because we saw after that there was a growing protest in Nepal over the increased Chinese and public Chinese intrusion into Nepali politics. But of course, we all know the role Chinese have been playing. They, of course, are the strongest proponent of a unified Nepal Communist Party, and they would like to see that it remains united. So they are doing their level best If the party splits again into two fractions, that will be a major problem, major issue for Beijing. So it is a kind of a tussle between forces who want the Nepal Communist Party to remain united versus the forces who would like to see the party being divided. Internal forces in the party itself for their own political gains.
Right, Siddhant Sibal, thank you so much for bringing